So this is the channel. I'm just going to give it here. So I'm going to post it in the messages. You will see a pop-up. Okay, so this is it. So if you go to the playlist, there's a huge list. I've been doing this for now almost several months. So this starts with basics. There is also some basics of Python, NumPy, Pandas, and there was previously several other datasets. Okay. So the way it works is I would invite anyone to usually share their screen if you have a problem that you would like to solve and you need help. So if you do have something, feel free to share your screen. Tell us what it is you're having a problem with. You are on mute, by the way, right now.
Well, I'm in it. As I said earlier, I'm in the second week.
Okay.
So I'm trying to develop the practice week about the concept, and it's a little bit tricky for me because I haven't found out the answers for the first and also the third question about converting hours and segments. So I can share screen, right? Or is someone in the first week? No, I don't think so, right?
No, this is I don't know about the first week or second week. I mean, I'm not sure which is it that you talk about, the first week or second week. Is it the same group or is it another group?
It's about the function and the return. Oh.
Okay.
Which course are you following? The first and second week?
On Python.
And which website is it and where is it?
This one.
Okay, go on.
This one right here. Can you see it?
Yeah, okay. Crash course.
This is one.
Okay. Coursera, okay.
This, I was practicing about the functions and the return because it's kind of difficult for me. And I was trying to do this practice thing. Let me tell you your practice. Okay. I was trying to do this but to resolve it, and I don't know why it's wrong.
Okay, this function. I'll just read it out. Complete the function to return the result of the conversion. So okay, convert miles to kilometers. Fine. Okay.
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, okay. So I just want to know what is it that they want. Okay, the question number 1, complete the function to return the result of the conversion. Call the function to convert the trip distance from miles to kilometers. Fill the blank to print the result of the conversion. Calculate the round trip kilometers by doubling the result and fill in the blank. Okay, so now just a question, what exactly, because you've already written some stuff into this.
Now I'm back. What were you saying?
No, in that block, you wanted help in writing that function, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in that block, if you look, there is already some stuff which is written in, right?
Okay.
You had tried to solve that by yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you show me what it is you've done and what is they want? Because
okay,
that's all.
they want me to convert these 55 miles into kilometers.
Okay.
And then want me to print it
Okay.
into a string, right?
Mhm.
So I put here the sentence and then string, which is basically the information. And then they want me to calculate the round trip in kilometers.
Okay.
And for doing that, I have to know which are the miles, 55 miles, and I have to multiply that by 2. And of course, with the sentence and the string of the operation. That's what they want me to do, right? So when I started to follow the steps for doing that, they tell me to complete the function to return the result of the conversion.
Okay.
So it was like this.
Okay, so first thing is, I'll just tell you what that is. You've defined the function, that's correct. That is, use def convert distance, and you've taken in miles. Okay. Now miles is the argument of the function, right? So when that argument that you've taken is now available within the function as a variable, right? So when you say kilometers is equal to miles into 1.6, right? Which means that when you call the function, it's called calling a function. When you call a function, you're passing it an argument, right? So it's like when you call a person and you tell him something. So you call the person, that what you're telling the person is the information you're passing to the person, right? In the same way, you call the function, you're passing the miles. The miles is the argument. Now you can use the miles within your function. So all you have to say is, you have to say kilometers is equal to miles into 1.6.
So do I have to type the 55 miles, or do I have to just type
No, you have to type miles. That's the thing. See, because the information passed to the function is miles. So you have to use this information now within the function.
Okay.
So that's miles. You actually have to write miles.
Oh, just right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now you got to return this. So you got to say return kilometers, because what happens is the function has to give back something.
Okay.
No, km. You have to write km. See, because that is the variable you've used, km. Right. Okay. So now the rest is okay. So you're saying my trip miles is equal to 55, right? So now you're saying convert my trip miles to kilometers by calling the function. Now my trip kilometers is equal to, now you call the function. So you say convert distance and you pass my trip miles as an argument. Right.
So I have to put it in the 8th line then?
Yeah, exactly. The same line. So you just write convert distance at the end after the equal to.
Oh, okay.
And then in parentheses, you write my trip miles.
Okay. My trip miles.
Right. So this means you're calling convert distance, that's the function, and you're passing this variable, that is my trip miles, to the function.
Okay.
So the function takes this value, does the computed calculation, passes back the kilometers, right? That is the return statement. So what it returns is now being passed to my trip kilometers.
I have a question.
Yeah. Okay, I think we are running out of bandwidth. Can you switch off your video, because I think it's taking too much bandwidth? I think you froze there.
No, I stopped sharing.
No, that's true, but I think you froze there, so it's like we didn't see much of it. But you know what to do now, or
Yeah, I was asking you.
yeah.
Now,
The first.
can you switch off the video, because usually the system becomes slow because we were not able to hear you or see you because you froze, and so perhaps yeah, perfect. Now if you start sharing the screen, I think it'll be better.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think so. But I think we can at least hear you now.
Yeah.
So you go ahead with your question.
I was asking if the first function here, convert distance and mile, is the same as the one here, convert distance and then mile with mile.
Yeah, it would be the same. Yeah, it is the same. Only problem is if you look in your definition, if you look at line number 3, so you have kilometers, and I think you have done something there. You've written there, you have to write miles into. Oh, I think you got a connection problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So first and foremost, when you say convert distance, you can't take in, you're taking miles, right? So it would be better if you name the argument miles instead.
Oh, okay.
No, this is line number 2. In line number 2, when you're defining the function, when you say convert distance, yeah. Yeah. And the next thing you got to do is you got to return kilometers. That is, you need to add one line after line number 3 saying return km.
Now, which is the next thing?
Okay, now that won't do. See, if you look again now, you see that the way you've written line number 5 has the same indent as line number 3, right? Now Python will say that this is within the function. So you got to remove the indent to line number 5.
Like so?
Yeah, that's right. The next thing you got to do is on line number 3, after line number 3, you got to add another line which says that you are returning km. So you got to say return, because the function has to return a value that you can assign. Yeah.
Okay, which is the next step?
Yeah. So this should, now that the next step is you got to print it. So what you got to say is, now the distance in kilometers is, you got to say you see my trip kilometers, you got to say str of that. So basically you are casting an integer, or rather a float, to a string.
Like so?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And then the next one, you got to just say str my trip kilometers multiplied by 2, because you just have to take the round trip. Oh, you got to actually write my trip, yeah.
It says there's an error on line 4 because indent does not match any other indentation level.
Oh, okay. I think what you have to do is line number 3 and line number 4, instead of typing a space, actually do a tab.
So,
no, I would say first remove the spaces in line number 3 and line number 4 before the statement, and tab them. No, you don't have to delete them. You don't have to delete them. You can leave them as it is.
Just by putting it.
No, that won't work. That won't work. It's like this. You do not have to delete line number 4. That can stay. The main thing in Python you need to understand is that it sees a block as an indent. So you got to press tab. So to line number 3 and line number 4, remove the spaces before the statement. You have 3 or 4 spaces. Remove those and press tab.
And then what do I do?
Yeah, press the tab button on your keyboard. Oh no, that won't do. You got to actually give a tab. So you got to press tab on that.
Okay, wait a minute. What is a tab?
Shouldn't there be a tab on your keyboard?
On your left, above the caps lock.
I don't see it.
No?
No.
So, I mean, you have something which has 2 arrow marks going on either side.
2 what?
2 arrow marks going on either side, left and right.
Yeah.
That you press that.
Yeah, that's it.
You see?
Yeah. So now here you
Yeah. You can now type return AM.
Okay.
Now, okay. And you should also do the same tab on the line before. Yeah, exactly. No, go up and go to the start of the line.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
So what you have told Python is that anything that is with a tab is under the function defined as convert distance. So you have def means definition. So you're defining it. So you're telling Python that this function should do this and it will return kilometers.
Oh, so when I'm trying to put the spaces, I have to do it with the tab.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Now it works.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, I need you.
Okay, you need to do more. Right? Okay, good.
Oh, and also this one, the second one. Wait a minute. I don't understand why do I have to do here. Can you help me with this, please?
The function compares 2 numbers and returns them in increasing order. Okay, fill the blanks so that the print statement displays the result of the function call in order. Hint: if a function returns multiple values, don't forget to store these values in multiple variables. Okay, so basically what it says is like this: if you give this function 2 numbers, so let's say for example 5 and 7, then it will give them back in ascending order, so 5 and 7. If you give it 7 and 5, it has to still return 5 and 7.
Okay.
So what you have to say is, you just have to say that if number 2 is greater than number 1, yeah, I think what you've done seems right. Can you run that? What happens? But I think you'll have to call it, right?
Yeah. So what do I have to do?
I think what you've done is right, because you are comparing number 2 with number 1, and if number 2 is greater.
This was like the.
Okay.
This is what I have to do. But
I see.
when I fill these blanks, I did it with number 1 and number 2, and when I run it devolves an error, and I don't know why.
Okay, so what happens is here you got to actually write smaller and bigger. So you see the next statement, number 12, it says print smaller comma bigger. right?
Oh, I have to type this?
Yeah, because this exactly.
Okay.
And you can delete the other part, that underscores, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now it works.
Okay. Now I think it wants you to pass more. I think it says you've not yet passed enough points.
Oh, yeah. I did the other points and the other points were right. But I was trying to figure out how to do this. The other ones I know the answer about them.
Okay, fine.
And thank you. Those
Okay.
were my questions.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Good to know. Anyone else has any questions you want to share? Okay, if not, then anyone would like to get started, then please do so.
I don't have any questions. So
Okay, by the way, hello to Harish and Venkat, and also as we have another person, Jia.
yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello everyone. So I know that Harish and Venkat have been coming to this before, but since Jia, you're new, just quick introduction that this is pretty much an informal Python session. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, usually one of us just shares our screen and we just solve something.
I just started with the course right now, so I'm new. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So yeah, I guess Krishnan, I think it's...
Yeah, I'll start. Okay, so what I have is I tried a few things from last week, and I will just share that. I will just a second. I'm looking at to share it. My screen is not picking up this. Okay, just a second. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So we started last week with this M5 competition on Kaggle, and we decided that we were looking at the data. It has 3 data sets, 3 CSV files with the calendar information, the temporal information. Then we had data on selling prices, which contained the week in which the item was sold and the store and the sell price. And then we had a sales data which contained the item on the day in which it was sold, but it was not necessarily that price was not there. So it was a bit of a messy data where not messy, whatever it is. The sell prices are not per day, it was per week, and the sales data was available per day. So what we decided at the end of last week, we were going through the data using pandas. So what we decided was we will look at California 1, the shop CA1, and we will try to predict the sales price for categories, not necessarily a specific product, because there are 3,000 products it's probably not going to be easy for us to do that, or at least we wanted to start small. We start with a small one city, one shop, and the categories. So after the session, I was trying a bit to rearrange the data. So I got stuck at the end because I think it was a kind of a bottleneck. And so I'll just quickly go through what I was doing. Perhaps we can decide how we can improve or move. So just to quickly have a look at the data. Okay, so the sales training data is something like this. So you have the ID of this is the ID of the item, then the department into which the item belongs to, the category of the ID, and the store ID, and the state ID. And then you have 1941 days, 1942 days, or I think it was, so I think it was 1942 days, but anyway. So you have all these data available and mentioning how many of these items were sold on which day. And and then we have calendar, etc. So what I started first to do was I started to focus only on took the sell prices and then only with the store ID CA1. So what it meant was we got something like this. So we get, instead of so I actually also removed the name, because we know that the store ID is CA1, which means I also removed the store ID. I think I ran this. Yeah, so here. So what I did was I also removed the store ID, because we know that it is only CA1, there is nothing else. I also dropped state ID. Yeah, so you can see that I dropped state ID, etc. So finally what happened was, this is what I have in sell prices. That is, you have the week in which it was sold, the cost, the sell price, and the category of the ID. So what is the category of the ID is, I have categorized them into 3 forms. So you see that each one of them, there are 3 categories: hobbies, households, and foods. Okay, I think it's a bit messy. I would probably do it again if you want, because I think I've done it a bit messily. Is it making sense, Shiva?
Yeah, it is. I'm just a little confused about what is this category ID. How is it different from sales train and from this? Like, for example, see if you just check out. Okay, first we have. Can you just show DF sell prices? If you just go up a little, DF sell prices.
Sell prices, sell prices is here. Yes.
Sell prices. So DF sell prices is basically how we are arranging, or rather this gives the selling price of these items according to weeks, right? That's what it does. And
Yes.
of course for a particular store ID. Now,
Yes.
they have done this for the simple reason that the price of a certain item can always change. Number one, because something may be on sale, something may be on, like, the store wants to get rid of it, so they're like throwing it away for like almost nothing. So for that reason, they have arranged this according to time, right? So you have almost, like, you look at the size of this thing, it's I think 6 million rows.
Yeah.
So this is
6.8 million. Yes,
exactly. It's almost 7 million. Yeah. So this is pretty much every item that has been sold for all those 3 years. That's the reason why there's so much data, right?
Yeah.
So now what we are going to do is we are going to take this sell price and we're going to put it in the next data frame. So if you come down again, if you scroll down rather, it is this data. So if you look at that data,
which one? This one?
Yeah, evaluation or whatever, evaluation. So here.
No, okay. So what we'll do is I'll start from here directly, because because I have done a lot of things. It's a bit messy, but anyway. So for here, what we can do is focus only on CA1.
Yeah.
That's what we will do. So we will do that. DF cell prices, and then DF cell prices.
No, in brackets. Then,
this is store ID equal to CA underscore 1. So if we do this, oh god, this will be big. Okay, so we have about 690,000, about 700,000 data points.
Right. So this data point now, exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the first step to focus only on sell prices of these numbers. Okay, and this is the first step, and of course we can. So the second step, perhaps, and this is what I don't know if we want to do it or not, perhaps is to reduce these items to their classification only. So this is what I did, in the sense saying that I looked at, so there are three classifications: hobbies, household, and foods.
So I would say that what we have to do, like what you're trying to do is, there's two ways out of this. You want to then extract that first string, that is hobbies or foods, right? If you come down, however, typically you can do that, but usually if you just come down, scroll down rather. Now here you see that this category ID exists on this. Well, this is sales train, right? Maybe because I think one we should not use and one we should use. So how is it done?
Train sales evaluation is what we should not use.
We should not use, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. You can skip what that is that.
Yeah. So I mean, my question is like, okay, let me tell you where I got stuck, because that's important, because I have done a bit of data. I mean, like I would show you the end point where I came to, where I got stuck, and that's where it probably is. So what I did was, finally I put together the calendar and the sell prices together. Okay. So essentially you have this DF, Cal, Sales, and CA1. Here you only have categories, which means the categories that you see would be only, okay, let me just quickly see this. Yeah. So here what you have is the week. What is the weekdays? Week starts, I think, with...
I think it starts at Saturday or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember now. I'll have to check what I did. I don't remember. But anyway, so you have 0, 1, 2 here. These correspond to, I think, foods. I mean, I think 0 is foods. And I did some mapping here. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Hobbies is 1. Foods is 0. And household is 2.
Okay.
So these are 3 categories. So I mean, I will finish it, okay? Because I'm stuck here, which means we probably have to start again. So which means it's a bit easier. So you have these 3 categories, and what I had done was, for that week, how much total cost, I mean total selling happened. So I essentially do it a group by, and then added for that specific category. So we have been given sell prices not based on categories, but based on items. So, but what I did was, because you know that at the start of the item ID, you have hobbies underscore something. So I just took the first string, first part of the string, and then said it's hobbies, which means it will go into hobbies category. So now, and then you see that I have the events, weekdays, and whether it was a snap day or not. But you see when I have come up to here, so I have everything in sales and calendar data kind of put together for a weekly basis. and I have the other thing that is left out is the sell prices. Okay, now sell prices are category wise, and it's a bit I have categorized them in category wise. I removed the item ID, but it's not easy. So I can sum it up like, okay, for this week, this I can look at a specific week, and I can sum up all that specific week and all that. I can easily do that. But what will happen is that right now what will end up happening is that we will be end up predicting weekly category wise sell prices. That's all we can do. We cannot do day wise. And so the way I ended up, I mean, I did a lot of different things. What I'll do is I'll just organize this and perhaps send it in the Google Groups, this file. But what has essentially happened is we'll have to go in a way that we'll have to find a way to correlate this D1, D2 that we see, that is the day numbers that we see, in a way that we can correlate it with the week days in sell prices. So the D1, D2 is available in the sales train, whereas the sell prices has the week number. So we will have to find a way to correlate them properly. Otherwise, we cannot do day by day analysis.
Okay.
So this is what I want to show. So maybe I'll go back to where we were, because we can start from there. We can start afresh, because that I think is important, because I don't think we have. I have got into a place. It has been useful. So we can perhaps. So for instance, what I'll do is I'll go down. We have three different. There are a lot of them. What is this? DIR, right? To see all the values that are there. All the.
No,
DIR.
No, that is OS list there in that case.
Yeah. So I just want just to see the names of these three. Okay, there is DF sell prices. That's one thing that we need. DF calendar sync, I think. Yes, and then yeah. So and then you have sales train, or perhaps sales train. This one. So these are the three things that are important for us. So what I'll do is I'll just keep them. I'll just do a head of each of them, and we'll start from here again. So you have okay. So these are the things that we have.
Right. So the first thing we want to do is first what we want to do, we want to filter it according to California, or rather CA1.
CA1.
Right. So what I would say is, if you look at the first one, that is sell prices, that has the store ID of CA1, right?
Yeah.
The next one is that, what is that thing? That is something you created, or the DF cal sync?
Yeah, I think I created this. I think cal is what we need to, calendar is what we need to look at. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one, actual one.
Okay. And then I think what we did was, if you remember, we sort of filtered that a little. Did DF calendar new or something of that sort, was it?
Yeah, in fact, I think that is what was this cal new. Yeah. Cal new. Yeah.
So basically, this is
what we have.
Yeah, the other one just has a lot of columns. So we threw out some of them, and we just sort of kept these, right?
Yes.
So the first thing what we need to do is, here if you look, this is the calendar data that just has that. This is how the dates are coordinated. So for example, it tells you that this date corresponds to so and so week, and that is the week ID, and that is the day ID. So if you look, the date column, then the next column is WMYR, WK, then there is a D, next column D, or rather one column after that D. So this encodes how a day how an actual date corresponds to a week ID and an actual date encoding, right? Now, how these are used, if you come down to the next one, the next data frame, here if you see, this is how you will find that it is encoded. So you see, in this, towards the right of that, there are all the days, day 1, day 2, onwards, all the way up to day 1941. So what that means is this is 3 years of data. Right?
5 years. Yeah.
5 years of data, right, sorry. So for 5 years of data, they have each and every item. So it's basically item ID, right? The first one is the ID of the actual transaction. The second one is the item ID which is actually sold, right? Third item is the department ID, so basically under what category it comes, and then the last is the category ID. So if you do one thing, for example, what I would say here, let's say we filter out according to store ID, that is CA1, right? So that is DF sales train.
Okay, so we will, so this will be, so DF sales train, you are able to see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm always confused when sometimes it's not visible. Sorry, store ID equal to CA1. Okay, if you do that, I get this.
So
we
we
have about the same number of. So we have, wait just a second. Yeah, we have about 3049 rows.
Right. So now what we need to do is, if you look at these CA, that is this particular one, this has all the items which were sold in this particular store, that is CA1. So basically, I think there are 3 different stores. For example, if you just do unique on the store ID, so like DF sales train store ID dot unique.
No, there are about 10 stores.
Oh, there are 10 stores.
3 in California, and I think 3 in Wisconsin and 4 in Texas, something like that. There are some 10 stores.
Okay, so here again, if you want to do something by a store ID, you can do it, or you can do it according to a state also. So for example, if you say I want everything in California, you can instead do state ID is equal to CA, and it will filter according to California.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So you see, this is everything in California. Okay, so we have basically filtered out.
There are 4 stores.
Yeah, 4 stores.
In California.
Yeah. So now the next thing what we need to do is, let's check within this. So you can actually make this into another data frame if you want, say like DF CA, sales CA or something.
Yeah. Now I will actually give DF1 because I have a lot of these names already. So I'll put DF1 so that I'm sure that this is a new one that we have made.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll keep it only this, and then perhaps we can also drop some of the.
I would say do that next. First, let's extract this.
Yeah. So this is done, and then we will drop. We'll see what is there in them.
Okay.
Sorry.
So now in this, we have the item ID, we have the department ID, and the store category ID. Now, let's say, for example, if we want to actually map, now if we want to combine this, so what actually happens is this: if you look at all the days, day 1, day 2 onwards, there is a number, right? This shows how many of those items were sold on that particular day, right? So what we can actually do is, instead of just having the number sold, we can convert that into an actual sale price.
Yes.
So to do that, what we have to do, we now have to combine 2 different data frames together. So for example, if you go up to the previous one, this tells us, the previous one, this gives us, for a particular item ID, in a particular week, this was the sale price, right? Now, how do we know the week? We know the week from the next one, that is the day. So you see, we have to take each day, right? Each day here, and we got to check out which week belongs to that. According to that, go to the previous one and find out what is the sale price.
Yeah.
All right. So, any questions here? It might seem a little confusing, so feel free to ask anyone.
The last sentence which you told, right, that we are going to do this. Can you repeat that again?
So it's like this. See, Krishna, if you come down to the next one, see, this is the data where every item it is recording a sale of every item, right? Now, we have first filtered out only for store number 1 in California, right? Now, if you look at all the columns, if you look at the columns D1, D2, D3, D4 onwards, these are the days in which the item was sold, right? So basically there are 1941 days. That corresponds to 5 years of data. So if you look, let's say day 1932, right? The first item was 2 of them were sold. Then 1933, 4 were sold. Now the problem is, if you want to know how much sales were done, you need to know the price, for what price it was sold, right?
Yeah, here I got question when Krishnan also speaking about the same way. I mean that like he sorted out the prices in the beginning of the section. So that time he told like there is a price like 9.8. So is it the average price or the price of each item?
That was the price of the item sold on that day. So if you go up.
So in this, so what they have done is they have given for each item the sell price, which is 9.58, 8.26, etc. However, they have not told on which day was it sold. It's only the week has been given. So it is possible that the week mentions that this is sum of all, because they have not told how many of this item was sold. But so which means, so my guess is there is only one item once this item comes per week, which means the sell price that we have is the sum or average of the sold. My guess is it's sum, because they want independent ones. So it's the sum of all the prices of this sold, which means, for instance, let us see this. CA1 hobbies 1001, and this is the week. So for me, we can figure out what this week is. Okay, so this week would correspond to, so here you can see that it starts as 11101. Okay, so I'm going to just do a simple calculation. So minus 111001. This is what it starts. So it's week number 224.
Okay, can I tell you how to do that by calculation? See, for example, I'll tell you, go up to the previous one. Now here. So let us now pick out, for example, take 11325, right? Copy that number, and in the next one, that is df cal new, run that query.
Yeah.
So I insert another cell.
Yeah. Okay.
Or above. No, you can insert another cell above so that we have this.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to run a query. That is, then you copy WM, that thing, you can copy that thing, WM. Here. Yeah. And you have to close that thing. You have to close the parenthesis there, or rather bracket. After W, because it's a column, right?
Yeah.
See,
I didn't understand. What do you
so
mean?
it's like this. See, WM, YR, YK is the column on this, df cal new.
Yeah.
So you have to close.
Sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
And then you got to then close it on the other one. So df. So again, you have to say df cal new.
Yeah.
You see, so this is the week. So basically there's 7 days in every week. So this is what it corresponds to in the sales, in the calendar data.
So we can check, for instance, then at these days 897 to 903 in this sales train data, what exactly was happening, right?
Yeah.
That's what should be doing. So for instance, I will go to this, create one more. So I go to, for instance, because it's a column, I will check this, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, this is there is a lot of it. So, and we can probably also say that.
No, okay, no. What is the name of
And
it?
we'll have to also put this, these, we have to
No,
make it only CA1.
No.
and
What
we
you
have
can
to-
do, see, if you look at the DF sales train, on the days when there was a sale, you have to just check if it is greater than 0.
Okay.
And then
Yes,
cast
yes.
it on DF train. So basically, and then pass this whole thing on DF sales train.
Yeah.
So you see,
Yeah, it still is 10,000 rows.
yeah.
But in this, we can probably make it only store ID is CA1, perhaps.
Yeah, that also you can add that. You can put a parenthesis in that same one. You can put another one.
It has to be within parentheses.
Every query has to be within parentheses.
So I will.
And you can say and instead of or.
Okay. I'm sorry. It should be or, is it?
This is or. It should be better and, right? Because you want to filter.
Oh, I'm sorry, and sorry.
And it has to be
I
ampersand.
put this or
Ampersand.
and.
Yeah, it has to be ampersand.
Yeah. Okay. And then I say it is store ID equal to CA1.
Yeah.
And then we can also say, for instance, here the item that we were looking at is this one,
Yeah.
hobbies 100. Yeah. So I can also put item ID as this. DF sales train. It is item ID equal to. So there is nothing, in fact.
Okay, can you remove one of them? Maybe the store ID you can remove because there's no guarantee about the store ID.
Okay, let's see.
And delete that. Parenthesis.
Wait. Maybe there is something wrong with this? No. Okay,
No, it's just because we don't know the item was sold with California, right?
Yeah. No, I think, yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. No, this, the item was, you see that the store ID is CA1. This is this one. And in this week. It is possible it is only the week is given. It could be any of these days.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to check, okay. So we'll have to check this rather.
No, we don't have that. That's the problem. That's not there. See, that's the challenge.
Yes.
See, this is where the challenge arises.
Yeah. Okay, this is.
So you know the trick here, right? This is when you join two tables or join two data frames. So for example, if you go to this one, see, if you go to the previous, if you just scroll up, see, you see here, we have for this same week ID, we have 7 days, right?
Yes.
Now, if you go to the previous one, the one more before, all we have to do is we have to join this day number with this one.
Yeah.
So that for the same week, we have already all these days so that we can map each day with the sale price.
Yeah.
Right. So basically what happens is they are saying that the sale remains constant for a week. So it doesn't matter whether it's D1897 or D903. For week 11325, the sale price is going to be 9.58.
Yeah.
Right. So what we do here is what is called as a join. So you can try that out. Let's say DF cell, you can just start a new cell.
Okay. Shiva, I think that I realized one thing, because I think probably I was thinking wrongly. So when they say sell price, it is the cost of this item during this week.
Right. Yeah.
It's only that. So oh God, I was thinking that the amount of money that the shop got by selling this item over this week, which is wrong, which is a wrong assumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God. Okay. Now, you're right. You go on. Now I understand.
So you just start a new cell. I'll just tell you what to join.
9.58 is selling price of each item which it's sold in that particular week.
Right. So basically,
not each item, for this item.
This item.
So, for instance, if you look at this item, for this week, the cost was this. Okay. Now, it may happen that this item was not at all sold during that particular day or a week. There is no guarantee that it was sold. That sold information is available in this column here. Okay, so so what we'll have to do is, we don't actually, then I feel that this is not that big, that complicated a data set. All that we have to do is, because they have given us how many of this each product was sold on which day, all that we have to do is, okay, this belonged to which week, and we go here and pick up that specific cost, and then we will know how much money this specific week, this specific thing brought, or whatever.
I just want to simplify this. I don't want to go to the price now. So we just predict the number of items sold of particular category. Then we can directly take the table and we can map the price.
Yeah. Shiva, we can do that perhaps, because we don't need to now, okay, while the overall objective of this M5 competition is to optimize, or increase the sales price, we can just focus on number of items sold, and we can predict how many items would be sold.
See, it's like this. The idea behind these prices is like this. Supposing, for example, they say if you drop the price of an item by $1, right, how much will it increase the sale of a price, right? So, for example, if you look at that hobbies one at 11,325, the price is 9.58, right? Now you see after that 11,327, that is 2 weeks later, they have decreased it to 8.26, right? That means $1.32. What they are trying to do is, the same thing has been there in the store for 2 weeks. They realize we have to get rid of it. So they've dropped the price by $1.32. The objective is they'll put it on discount. The hope is that customers will now go and grab it.
Guys, it's 1 p.m. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. So that is basically the idea behind what these stores try to do. That is, they play with the prices so that they increase the sales and eventually are able to get rid of their items and eventually make more profit. So
you're right.
So then it becomes time dependent, right?
Yeah, no, it is of course time dependent, and also what is important is we need to see how the time fluctuates with how rather the sale fluctuates with time. So, for example, we need to do predictions. Like, for example, if there is no sale, then in that case, when should the price be dropped so that the sale can increase? So, for example, there may be things like, for example, you would want to change the price every 2 weeks, right? Things like that.
Yeah. So that means like, suppose if predicted number of sales are dropping, then we should decrease the selling price so that we can reach the total amount, the total sales, total income.
Right. And also you want to know at what frequency. So, for example, should you change the price every 1 month, every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks? that kind of thing.
Okay, that will be predicted through the number of items dropped in a week.
No, that's the thing. So, like for example, if we see that from week 11.325 to 11.327, the price has dropped. Let's say the sales has gone from 5 to 25, right? So, therefore, by dropping by $1.32, you have increased your sales by that much amount. Correct? So, which means that in 1 month, if you change your price so many times, how much can you increase your profit?
Yeah, I understood. Thing is that like while approaching, whether we need to initially predict the number of sales or we need to go with like dropping the price, then we.
No, that's the thing. See, once you know, for example, once you know how much you actually sold, then you will know, you will have an idea of how the price of or how much revenue one item brought over 5 years. But that much important, that information is important. Here now we know only how many of those items are sold. What we need to know is how much money you made out of each item. So we have to map this sell price with the one below, that is the sales train data. So all those integers in that sales train data for all the days, we have to replace them with actual sale prices. So for example, if 4 items are sold, and if those items are sold for $8.50, then we have to multiply 4 into $8.50, so that we know that this much money was made on that sale, on that item.
Yeah. So that means like problem going to be complex.
No, actually it's not. That's the thing. It's actually quite simple if only you know how to, only we have to join tables. So like for example, we can join the DF sell prices and DF cal new, and we can create one table where for every week we have all the days, right? Now once you have all the days are actually unique. It's an index because they're unique days, right? So then what we have to do is, we have to then go to the other data frame, sales trend data frame, and for every day we have to look up this table and map the sell prices. So it's actually 2 or 3 steps, but it's like, we can do this next time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me also the problem is a lot clearer now. And I think sometime mid of next week I'll have some time. So I'll probably redo the things that I had done, but with this clarity, because I was quite wrong in the way I was doing. So now things will be quite clear. So it will be interesting to put. I mean, I think we can get a single data frame with all of that we need.
Exactly.
We can do easily.
Yeah, that's the idea. We need one data frame eventually, so that we, at least with almost all the information we need.
Yeah. I mean, to some extent, we can start with only the store CA1, and then we'll be able to go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Before we close, can we write those 3 steps so that like it can guide us?
What do you mean? I can do that. No.
Yeah, sure. You go ahead, right? No problem.
No. What do you mean? What do you want to know?
No, just to summarize what we're going to do.
Okay. So, tasks. Okay, I will put it like this as usual. So first is focus on CA1. Okay. Now the second task is to map the to join the 3 CSV data frames. That's given, but also to join the 3 data frames, but how are we going to do it? We will do it this way. Sorry. Okay. So we'll do it by
I would say let's take a break because this will take quite a long time. So I think we should probably, what I would say is, are you in the Google group?
Yeah, I'm there.
I don't know about that Google.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think in that case, maybe we just do it next time because this would take at least another 15 minutes to write everything down.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay then, so I think we'll end this. So I think we're getting closer towards actually framing a complete problem.
Yeah, I think once we put the data together and do what you want to do, and half the problem is solved.
That's what I'm saying. This is like artificial intelligence is actually 70% data cleaning.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. Like most of the things I have seen is people, you just feed it in this way and that's it. And, but how do you feed it? That's it.
No, that's almost the entire challenge. See, like you just have to sort of, the computer will just do everything, but you need to be able to feed it what data.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay then. So see you all next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
See you.